Hi guys, welcome back to my channel once again here on YouTube. Today we celebrate 300 subscribers to the channel. I never even thought I'd get 100, let alone 300. So I'm pretty cool with that. Sorry about the delay in videos. I've had serious health problems. Got one hand bigger than the other, as you can see in comparison. You can see my knuckles on that one, but you can't really see them on that one. It's all fat and just can't do much. It's part of my illness. My joints all swell up from time to time. It's just horrible. It fucks me up, my mobility and everything. But here we are anyway. Enough about my shit. You got my ugly mug today as well. Look, for the first time in a long time. I think this is the third not face reveal, but third time even, my ugly mug on the camera. But enough of that. Let's celebrate this 300 subscriber special episode with a shitload of questions, and I'll quickly show you this pickup I got recently. I was unable to show you guys because, as I said, I haven't been well. So I got the Royal Rumble 2024 custom. This is from my good friend Chad Stone. Got this a few days after the premium live event aired, so I was very pleased with that. I was going to do a video before, guys, to show you, but yeah, sorry about that. I'll try and give some shout outs in this video as well, and just going to go over all the questions. I'm just preparing them now. I had to get my son to write them because my hands are bad. I can't even hold a fucking pen properly. I struggled to hold that Blu-ray just now, just balancing it in between certain fingers, and it's absolute nightmare. Anyway, I've been given a shitload of questions and I'm very grateful for all these. I hope you guys are happy to sit through this video and, you know, put up with me yammering on about, you know, my answers or whatever. So first of all, got David Diaz, Rocket Dave, as a lot of you guys might know him as. Go check his channel out if you haven't done so already. So there you go, there's your shout out, Dave. You owe me a pint. Only kidding. Anyway, so he's asked me 4 questions. The first one is, what is your favourite Sting moment? Now, I've got a few that come to mind. Obviously, I like the entrance for the Starrcade 1997 Sting match against Hogan for the World Championship. That stands out as a good Sting moment. Also, when he won the World Heavyweight Championship against Ric Flair, I think it was the Great American Bash 1990, and you had the Steiner brothers and El Gigante and everybody come in the ring and just like pick him up, and Lex Luger and that, you know, like a rag doll, just throw Stinger in the air, you know. In celebration, obviously. They weren't doing it on purpose. But yeah, it was fun. That was a fun moment. Those moments stand out. I like the Joker Sting stuff as well. That's pretty cool. He's got so many moments over these almost 4 decades he's been wrestling. It's crazy. But yeah, that's the best I could answer that one at the moment, dude. What was the first professional wrestling DVD you brought? So, my first purchase was... Well, it's strange how it worked, really. I can't remember my first proper one, because I did collect WWE DVDs kind of in the early 2000s. And then I ended up in a bad situation in life, and I sold all that, and, you know, just to get by and whatever. And then I properly started collecting again in 2012, I think. I'm pretty sure it was. And I'm pretty certain this was my first wrestling DVD from this entire collection I have now going on. And yeah, Bound for Glory 2011, when I started collecting just for TNA. I had no plans to collect for WWE or any other company for that matter at that point. But things change, things happen, and obviously I now have multiple companies that I've collected for over the years. I have a complete collection of these TNA DVDs now. Thanking you kindly, Mr. Diaz, Rocket Dave, for your kind help to, you know, let that happen, make that happen even, with the addition of the Free Live crew, which I've kept wrapped in bubble wrap still to protect it. I find it that valuable. It's just me. It's the way I am. Next question. Your favourite pay-per-view? Now, this is a tough one for me because there's pay-per-views I still haven't watched. And there's pay-per-views I need to re-watch that I haven't seen for many years. But off the top of my head right now, I have two that stand out. One of them's this one, All Out from 2021. Very solid pay-per-view from start to finish. I really enjoyed that one, and it's a welcoming addition to my collection. Also, WrestleMania 17 was the other one that I thought of that definitely deserved a mention. So yeah, it's between those two at the moment, but that could change. Everything can change. You know, my opinions on everything changes from time to time, and that's probably what's likely to happen there. Next question, your final question, Rocket Dave. A match you feel is overrated? Sorry, I can't read my son's writing very well. Bless him. Yeah, so a match I feel that is overrated. That Shawn Michaels versus Ric Flair match from that, I don't know what WrestleMania it was. Was it 24? That one. You know, the I'm sorry, I love you. Sweet chin music, goodbye. That kind of shit. Nah, too overrated. But, you know, you got a lot of people that were like, oh, that was a fantastic match. What are you talking about, buddy? It's just because you're hating on a certain wrestler. That's why, isn't it? No, not at all. I thought it was overrated, the match. Ric Flair can have some good matches. I've seen him in a few good matches. Not a lot, but he's had some good ones over the years. When he went against Goldberg on an episode of WCW Nitro in the 90s, that match was pretty good. I think they had two matches on Nitro. The first of those two was pretty good. But yeah, that match was overrated, that WrestleMania one. Just my opinion though. David Mansell. Hello, David Mansell. How you doing? Go check his channel out as well, guys. He's another good guy. Got a lot to say about wrestling and films and music, etc. And yeah, you've given me some questions. In fact, you gave me a first set of questions and a second set. But this is the second set. I'll get to your first set in a minute because you added later on, if you see what I mean, on the Q&A when I put it up on Facebook. So, who do you think will beat Roman Reigns? Got to be Cody Rhodes, hasn't it? It has to be. It's inevitable. If not, maybe someone like the ring general Gunter, whatever, however you want to fucking pronounce his name. But yeah, apart from that, I've been thinking about this the last few days actually, and when WrestleMania comes around, with all this shit that's been going on with Dwayne and Roman and Seth and Cody, sorry, I had to think who I was on about then. Yeah, with all that shit going on that's been going on lately, I'm thinking Roman Reigns is going to retain that championship again at WrestleMania, just to piss the fans off and stir the pot a little bit more, you know what I mean? Yeah, I think that's what's likely to happen at the moment. But, you know, when I give my predictions, and then, you know, you'll know my final thought on that. So yeah, at the moment, it could be Cody. It could be. What is your favourite Kane moment? My favourite Kane moment would have to be his debut at the, I was going to say Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, wasn't that, was it? It's In Your House Bad Blood from 1997, a Hell in a Cell match, which took place between The Undertaker and Shawn Michaels, and then Kane showed up with Paul Bearer, rips off the cage door, Hell in a Cell door. or was it a steel cage match? It's such a long time ago I've seen that, but yeah, that, the debut of Kane anyway, that was my favourite Kane moment. My least favourite Kane moments, either the Kate Vick shit, you know, that dirty ass storyline, either that or the unmasking of Kane in 2003. That was a bit disappointing. Everything went downhill for him there after that. I personally feel, my own opinion. And your final question from your first set of questions, least favourite Royal Rumble match. The Royal Rumble 1995 comes to mind. It was just full of random, pointless wrestlers that you knew weren't going to win. After watching back Nathan the Wrestling Guy's review of the 2006 Royal Rumble recently, he pointed out that a similar thing was happening. You know, there's wrestlers in the match itself that you knew didn't stand a chance of winning, so why put them in? But yeah, that wasn't a very good Rumble, according to Nathan. And I appreciate his opinion on that. I have to watch it back to decide my thoughts and opinions on that one. But yeah, it was a good review as well, by the way, Nathan. Nice. And yeah, I'll go with the 1995 Rumble as my answer for that. Next then, Steve Traeger. Hey, how you doing, dude? How far back do you go with wrestling history? Well, my knowledge of wrestling history probably is mainly focused WCW, NWA stuff from the 1980s, say mid 1980s. Some of my WWF stuff from the 80s is pretty hazy. It starts to pick up more early 90s. I don't really watch anything from the 70s, 60s, or, you know, before all that. I know you're really into your really old wrestling matches, you know, which is cool. You know, your Bruno Sammartino and, you know, is it Lou Fez, and, you know, all the old, really older legends of the ring. I don't have a problem with it, but I probably wouldn't sit and watch some of that really older stuff. I do appreciate it because we wouldn't have wrestling as we have it today. But personally, yeah, I'd say like the 80s, mid 80s, maybe early 90s, my knowledge. And then like some of my recent years WWE stuff I'm not very good with, but there you go. Next question. What is your favorite hardcore or extreme match? Now, there's so many good ones to choose from, but one that always stands out to me and sticks in my mind is that Jeff Hardy versus The Undertaker hardcore match from an episode of Raw. I think it was in 2001 or 2. But yeah, that one. Who are your top 10 women wrestlers? Okay, so I've had to list this ready because I couldn't think off the top of my head for the video. So I've put Lita, Ronda Rousey, Wendy Richter, Jordan Grace, Chyna, Jade Cargill, Medusa, Rhea Ripley, Becky Lynch, and Julia Hart. But that's just, they're in no particular order either, guys. That's just the list who I personally think deserve to be on there at this time, and that can change as well. As I said, my opinions and lists and everything change frequently. So your next question was, oh no, sorry, somebody else's question. I beg your pardon, sorry for the pause then. So Richard Wheatley, he's got 2 questions for me. First one is, what is your favourite merchandise you've purchased? I've had so many interesting pieces of wrestling merchandise over the years. I don't really have a favourite off the top of my head. I try and appreciate as much of it as I can. As you know, it's mainly DVDs and Blu-rays. I got figure collection. I could probably do a video for that actually at some point. If you're interested, guys, let me know. My signed photo collection, which is starting to grow slowly. I have about, I think around 60, maybe 70. I don't know off the top of my head, but yeah, I've got some pretty good ones. I could show you those at some point. But yeah, I don't really have a favourite. Sorry, dude. What is the piece of wrestling merchandise you wish you never purchased? Uh, there's this DVD. What's it called? As Hard as the Rock. I couldn't find it to show you. It's in one of my boxes somewhere, I think. I did a review for it last year on obscure wrestling DVDs. Episode 1, funnily enough. And that had to be one of the worst DVDs I've ever watched in my life. Wrestling related, that is. Terrible. If you've not seen it, go check the review of that out. I'll explain everything in that video. But yeah, that was a very bad purchase in my opinion. Next up, we've got Ernie Diaz. So that's Rocket Dave's brother. Thank you for adding a few questions to this Q&A. So first one being, what's your opinion of SummerSlam 1992? Good event. Some of the undercard was a bit cheesy and questionable booking maybe, but it was good for its time. Definitely a lot of nostalgia there. And what else was I going to say about it? Oh, I wish I could have attended that at Wembley Stadium. I would have been around 9 or 10 when that took place. So I kind of missed out on that. It's a shame, really. I would have loved the atmosphere and, you know, to have been there and witnessed that one. But main events, a good match for the Intercontinental Championship. Bret Hart and Bulldog, absolute classic match. But yeah, it was a good pay-per-view. What was the worst pay-per-view you've ever seen? Okay, there's quite a few actually. Off the top of my head right now, I'd say Over the Limit 2011 and Super Showdown 2020 is another one that I can think of that's definitely a bad egg. Hell in a Cell 2019 I wasn't too keen on either, from what I remember. But overall bad pay-per-view, at the moment I'd say Over the Limit 2011. Next, a lot of questions then, guys. I did say this is going to be a long video. Right, Demarius Marsh, how you doing, sir? Thank you for giving me these questions to answer for you. Good friend of mine, he also has a channel as well. I'll try and put the link to his channel in the description. I'll figure that out. If not, I'll do a shout out for him next time when I go through all the channels properly. So, question 1, how did you get into wrestling? I stayed up late one night when I was being babysat, and this was like 1989, I think. And we had WCW late night on ITV here in the UK. I think it was a Saturday night. Anyway, I wouldn't go to bed anyway. I was playing the babysitter up, so we watched TV. She let me watch the TV, and wrestling happened to come on WCW, and yeah, I fell in love with it from there. And then I started talking to friends at school about it, and then within a few months they were bringing in WWF trading cards, and I was like, I don't recognise any of these, and what's WWF? I only know WCW, you know what I mean? I only know WCW, what the fuck is WWF? But obviously I didn't know much about all that back then, and then I started to learn more about the WWF as well. But I've been a WCW fanboy growing up, and then straight to TNA. No disrespect to the WWF, WWE, but that, you know, that's the way it is, that's the way it went. But yeah, 1989. How do you feel when non-wrestling fans say to you it's fake? I try and stay as kayfabe as possible, but if someone really pissed me off and came up to my face and said that, I'd have to smash them. I wouldn't like that. I'm not a violent person unless I have to be, but I won't allow that kind of dirty language. That F word. Not cool. Not cool. Yes, you'll get a bunny pull if you say that shit to me. I don't want to fucking hear that F word. Moving on. Jax Argyle, how you doing, brother? You've got some questions for me. So, favorite WrestleMania match? There's so many I could choose from, but I have a couple that I really liked and that stand out in my mind, that is. And that's both the Shawn Michaels versus Undertaker matches. If I had to pick one of the two, it would be the one where, I can't remember which one it is. It's the one where Shawn Michaels has the white hat and coat and stuff as an entrance. That was a good match. Favorite WrestleMania moment? Probably the WrestleMania 31 where Seth Rollins cashes in on that Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar match. That was quite a good moment, even though I've had my ups and downs with that pay-per-view over the years. But yeah, that stands out as a good moment for WrestleMania. Yeah, there's so many though. I mean, Austin's heel turn as well from WrestleMania 17. That was pretty memorable. Favorite Sting match and moment? Again, I've done the Sting moment as a question earlier for somebody else, but favorite Sting match? I think I answered that as well earlier. So yeah, I've already answered that, sorry. I'll move on. What do you want to see in 2024 wrestling? Well, something that comes to mind straight away is I'd like to see the WWE reconsider selling DVDs and Blu-rays again. You know, the WWE home video, because it just felt like an insult the way they just stopped. They could have just eased certain releases and only released, say, the big four pay-per-views of the year. They should have kept WrestleMania going, especially with the 40th one coming up now. And what the hell were they thinking? But yeah, I'd say they should reconsider that. There's a petition going on as well, set up by 2004 Punk. And I know a lot of you have already signed it, but if you haven't signed that already, please go ahead and sign it. It's on, it's doing its circles on Facebook, and I'll try and find out more details about how else you can sign it, and I'll let you know in the future. Sorry guys, I got so much on my mind as well. Let's go on to the next set of questions. Thanks for that, Jax, by the way, bruv. Next we got Mick Mearhead. I think I've said your name correctly. Sorry if I haven't, dude. You've got a channel as well, which I'll sort out sharing with everybody once I get your channel name. I'm not very good with remembering the names, sorry. So yeah, I hope I said your name correctly, dude. You've given me a nice long list of questions here. So how long have you watched? Again, as I said earlier, 1989, I guess. Did you ever stop and restart? Yes, I've done that twice. Once in the mid-90s, I'd stopped watching wrestling for a little while. Definitely the WWF. I took a break from around 95 to 97, maybe 98. And WCW, I took a couple of years break, 94 to maybe 96. No particular reason. I guess I was just not into wrestling at that point again. You know, I just fell out of love with it. But then I got back into it again, and here we are. But yeah, and the second time was only with the WWE, was from 2015 to around 2019, 2020. I took a break from there, which for reasons which have already been over in the past. But yeah, I needed to take a break from them. So twice. If you were told you had to stop watching wrestling, sorry, I have to read this carefully. If you were told you had to stop watching wrestling and you could only pick one wrestling company, who would you choose it to be? TNA, definitely TNA. NWA were pretty hot for a while, especially towards the end of 2023, but after all that shit they did at that San Juan pay-per-view, Halloween pay-per-view they did last year with James Mitchell with the happy dirty white stuff up the nose crap, it all went to shit. and I would have picked NWA otherwise. But yeah, TNA, definitely TNA. I'm pissed about the Scott D'Amore thing. He took them from a shit product because they were going downhill in 2017 all the way to where they were earlier this year, and then he's just been, you know, relieved of his duties or whatever. It's just a shame. Next question, sorry guys. Right, what's your Mount Rushmore of tag teams? Okay, so the Road Warriors, the Steiner Brothers, Harlem Heat, and the Golden Lovers. Do you think WrestleMania is the best WWE event of the year? Not necessarily, no, because it's definitely the biggest event of the year, obviously. But to say, is it the best of the year? No, because there's been WrestleManias that have been shit, but there have been other pay-per-views the same year that have been a lot better. I mean, last year's WrestleMania wasn't exactly great, was it? We had just a load of terrible matches and segments. You had that Snoop Dogg, Shane McMahon bullshit, and then there was, excuse me, guys, and then we had Austin Theory and John Cena. And what's going on with John Cena as well? I mean, that guy was almost unbeatable, you know. And then he goes away, makes movies, he comes back part-time, does the Roman Reigns and Dwayne thing, and all of a sudden he's on a losing streak. I know he's trying to help other talent up and coming new talent and get them over and that, but give the guy some credit, you know what I mean? He still deserves to pick up victories. I mean, he hasn't won a match, was it like 3 or 4 years now or something crazy? It's fucking unreal. Do you think WrestleMania... Oh yeah, we've already answered that. Shut up, buddy. Next question. Who do I think the next AEW, TNA and WWE champions are going to be? AEW, I'd say Hangman Page. TNA could be PCO maybe. He definitely deserves something again. If not Josh Alexander, maybe again. Or actually, who's that new signing? Dolph Ziggler, Nick Nemeth. I think I said his name correctly. Apologies if I didn't. WWE champions. World champion Gunther. Still can't fucking say his name. The Ring General. Yeah, I think he'll be the next world champion and the next WWE champion or undisputed Universal, whatever the fuck it's called now, championship. Cody, maybe. And final question from Mick was my dream match and why. This is a no-brainer. My dream match would be, excuse me guys, my dream match would be Sting against The Undertaker. And why? Because both of them were my favourites from each organisation, I guess, at the time. And it was a match that we never got to happen. They did meet, apparently, in a WCW match, which I've watched recently, but it wasn't as Mark Calloway as The Undertaker. It was him as, I think it was Punisher Dice Morgan or something like that. Whatever gimmick he was using then. But yeah. And this is the last set of questions now. So, this is from the 2004 Punk. Who has the best cover of all time? These are all WWE related questions, I'm taking it. So, in that case, I'll show you. Best, at the moment, the best WWE cover of all time. Cody Rhodes. I do like the artwork on that. That's about the only decent thing Fremantle did, in my opinion. And he even gave us a little pamphlet there with the match listing, etc. So I'd say that would be my pick for that. Who do you think is the most... Oh, sorry. What do you think is the most rare release? Sorry about all these. I'm finding it hard to read that writing. Apologies to my son and apologies to you guys that have to wait for me to answer the question, read the question properly. So, favourite, what was it again? No, what do you think was the most rare release? It's one that you already own in your collection, Punk, and that's that WrestleMania massive set. It's a got a black box to it, gold writing, and it's signed by someone I don't really want to talk about, but Vince McMahon. And yeah, that piece is very rare, and I could see it's going to be a bitch if I ever wanted to purchase that. It goes for quite a lot of money. So I'd say that. I don't own it, obviously, but yeah. Best pay-per-view outside of the main four, I would say Taboo Tuesday or Cyber Sunday. They should bring that back. It would be good. I liked when the fans could vote for their matches or match stipulations, etc. Okay, so most underrated DVD sets and pay-per-views. I can't think of any off the top of my head at the moment. Sorry, dude. I really can't. Sorry, I couldn't answer that one. One pay-per-view, one documentary, and one compilation set to get signed, and by who? I'd like to get, if I could, I'd get that signed. Hoping to meet him next year if he does show up in the UK at that wrestling thing they have in April. He was due this year, but I'm pretty sure he'll show up next year. Same with this. Kenny Omega, I'm going to meet you one day as well and get that One Winged Angel set signed. This would have been a good one to have got signed. The Undertaker coffin. I think that was it. Pay-per-view you said as well. SummerSlam 92. I'd like to have got that signed by the British Bulldog. Unfortunately, that ain't going to happen. All right, David Mansell, here's your questions from earlier. Thank you, Punk, for your questions. Sorry. Your first set of questions, which I should have read first. Sorry. So, what is your favourite wrestling match of all time? Again, that's a tough question to answer. I don't really have a favourite of all time. There's just so many I could list that I really enjoyed. Again, Bret Hart versus Bulldog from SummerSlam 92 comes to mind. Owen Hart versus Bret Hart from, was it SummerSlam 94? That was another classic. There are just so many. It's really difficult for me to narrow it down to just one particular match. One memorable match. It wasn't a good match. But one that stays in my mind, which I really appreciate, was when CM Punk, Sting, and Darby Allin all teamed together against, was it MJF and FTR? That was cool. But I don't really have a favourite off the top of my head. Sorry, Dave. Who is your favourite wrestler? Who is your least favourite wrestler? I'll give you a clue. It rhymes with Dick Bear. That answer your question? And that was gifted to me. I'm not being ungrateful for gifts. So that's why I haven't been disrespectful to it. And I'm going on to the next question anyway. But yeah, there you go. That's my least favourite wrestler. And I have lots of reasons why. And I'm happy to answer them. And I don't give a fuck if people get offended by it. Tough shit, it's my opinion, innit? One of them being all that sexual shit I've heard that he's done to those poor women. Not cool. Shane Douglas even said it on videos. He's admitted it as well, and he tried apologising for it. But it's too late, you shouldn't have done it. Anyway. Favourite Sting match? Again, the Great American Bash 1990 match against Dick Flair. Oddly. And yeah, that's it. That's all the questions I've got then, guys, for the Q&A. Hope you've enjoyed it. Sorry if I've upset anybody with my opinions and thoughts. No, I don't mean to sound sarcastic when I say that either. It's just, you know, people bitch at me on Facebook and that about, you know, why do you hate this wrestler so much? Hate's a strong word as well. I dislike certain wrestlers. I mean, would you expect me to like Jimmy Savile and appreciate him when he was involved with wrestling? No. Exactly. Anything to do with horrible things to women and children, not cool. Not cool. But yeah, I don't want to leave this video on that negative shit. Think some positive stuff. And I'm going to give some shout outs to some good friends of mine. So 2004 Punk, thank you. Go check his channel out, guys. Al Garin, Al, my French-Canadian friend. Thanks to you as well, brother. Nathan the Wrestling Guy, as always, a pleasure having chats with you. Wrestling conversations with you are pretty cool. And you're a good dude, got a good channel. I respect you a lot. We got True Blue Paladin as well. He's got a good channel. David Mansell, you got a good channel. Rocket Dave as well, another good one. And of course, I want to also thank a really good friend of mine from the United States who kindly gifted me this and sent over some awesome trades a few weeks ago for me. Eli Johnson. I'm going to come and see you one day in the States, bruv. We're going to go out and have a few beers or something. Hang out, whatever. I look forward to that. And I'd like to meet some of you other guys one day as well. I hope to do that. But health is always a fucking issue for me, especially at the moment. But yeah, I've got some videos planned, and sorry they've taken so long. But I've got a review coming up for No Way Out 2003, and my AEW collection, my Ring of Honor collection videos. I think I've got a pickups video coming this week, possibly. I'm not going to give any time scales or anything because I keep letting you guys down with that, and you know what I mean, letting you all down with all that shit all the time. It's just, it doesn't look good for me, really, does it? But you got to put up with my ugly mug today. I won't be doing it as a regular thing because I don't like looking at myself. I can see myself now, just for fuck's sake. I try not to look at the camera too much. But yeah, hope you've enjoyed this video, and thank you all for your kind support. Everybody who comments on these videos as well, I'm grateful to all of you. You're so many of you. I can't remember all your names, and I do apologize, but thank you to all of you as well to make this channel possible. I'm going to still keep it going for a little bit. I say a little bit longer, for as long as I can. I've got so many ideas of videos I still play about with, and I've got a Sting tribute video I'm considering doing as well. But if you got any ideas for other videos or reviews, please just let me know in the comments. Thank you guys for joining me. It means a lot to me. You all stay safe, and I'll catch you again soon. Goodbye for now. If you can stop the video. Let's try again. Goodbye.